What's going on, guys? Welcome to Gunshot Gaming. I'm Tito Rosado, and today we're going to go ahead and get you caught up on any news you might have missed last week. Chinese regulators have limited the amount of time that minors can play video games online going forward. It is now limited down to 3 hours a week. They can only play Friday through Sunday, as well as national holidays, and it can only be played between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. That is it, 1 hour throughout those days. It's kind of crazy that they're implementing this and makes me very thankful that we don't have anything like that happening with us. Now, it does state that it only talks about online gaming when it comes to this rule. There's been no clarification as far as if minors can play single player games for a longer amount of time if they're not online. So we'll see, as companies are going to have to coincide with having a limit within their games that will allow kids to not be able to go over that time frame. So yeah, this sucks. My personal opinion is that parents should be the one to decide how much online gaming their kid gets to have, especially in a world where, let's be real here, gaming can become a career for some of these people. Not everybody will make it a career, I get that, but some can and make a lot of money. So if you're one of those lucky few, it would hate to take that away from that opportunity of that kid to make it happen. But granted, you know, I think parents should not allow their kids to do nothing but game and make it become truly their obsession. Even for me, while I love gaming and I grew up on it, I still played outside, I skateboarded, I rode my bike, I did all sorts of stuff, but gaming was always a hobby that I did enjoy, but I never let it take over me. I think that's even a thing that I'll be looking at for my son. If he continues to game with me as he gets older, that I hope he wants to game with me, but I will never let it take over his life. After the recent Xbox showcase we got during Gamescom 2021, a lot of fans were wondering why we still saw nothing else additional about the Halo Infinite campaign. Now we've got an official statement saying that they are at a critical ending point for the Halo Infinite campaign, and they couldn't take people off to create some type of trailer or gameplay trailer or whatever else that they need every single person to be on board, ensuring that they hit their release date. Now, I don't know if you want to take that as a good or a bad thing, that they truly need all these people to make sure they hit the release date after it's already been delayed a year, but I mean, I'm okay with not seeing more. I just want them to nail that release date and have the least amount of bugs and have servers ready to go, because I'm excited for this one, as we were supposed to get Halo Infinite at the launch of Series X and it's been pushed back so far. But from what we've seen from that flight test they did, it looks like so much fun. Unfortunately, I didn't get into that test, but I'm going to be there day one the game comes out and playing like crazy. As many people know, Cyberpunk launched in a very rocky state. It was littered with bugs and had many things that were honestly just broken, especially when it came to the older consoles. Now, modders took it into their own hands and started fixing the game, and what do you know, the developers of Cyberpunk have hired some of those modders to come work for the company as they help continue to polish the game. Now, while I think it is really cool that the company recognized those modders and saw the talent that they have and hired them, it's still kind of crazy that they're still needing to polish this game after they just came out such a broken mess. I mean, they had a lot of time to work on it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know exactly what goes into game development, but the one thing I do know is that if your game needs more time, then take more time. Don't release it in a broken state. While this game did come out and obviously it got, you know, all sorts of terrible reviews because things were so messed up, it still sold 15 million copies. So it's not like it didn't make them any money. It still did great for them. But I would have loved for them to just let that game cook a little longer.
We have a city to burn.
And really polish it out. I mean, by now, with all the patches they've come out with, I've heard it's in a very good state. I know even my brother's been telling me that when he played it on the Series X, he had none of those issues. So at some point, I will run through this on the Series X when I feel like it's ready. On September 1st, many Twitch streamers protested with the hashtag #ADayOffTwitch in order to protest against the hate raids, as some streamers were getting spammed by bots with racial slurs and just unnecessary hate in general. So as we saw a lot of people take place in that, hopefully it sent a message to the company. Sony has officially announced a summer showcase. Now, this will be taking place on September 9th, and they've slated it for a 40-minute show. Now, they have said this will continue to show the future of PS5, but they have given everybody a heads up as well that there will be no PSVR 2 news, as a lot of people have been anticipating. me as one of them, to see what they're going to bring to the table with that. But regardless, I'm excited for another Sony showcase. I think they always continue to knock it out of the park with their showcases, especially with them talking about the future of the PS5. So hopefully we get a little more for games that we've already seen and maybe even some new reveals. Horizon Forbidden West has officially unveiled the different editions of this game that you will be able to purchase, and after that was done, it was met with much backlash due to the reason that there was not an upgrade path to go from PS4 to PS5. The only way that you were able to get the, as they call, dual entitlement is you had to buy the more expensive edition. You couldn't just buy the game at $60 and then, you know, maybe have an opportunity to spend $10 more to upgrade it to the PS5. No, you had to buy the bigger edition. So while this was met with so much backlash, PlayStation has already adjusted this and kind of went backwards on what they had before. They've now stated that there will be a free upgrade path for Horizon Forbidden West, that if you buy it on the PS4, you will be able to upgrade it to your PS5 for free. This kind of reminds me of when they came out with the fact that they were going to shut down the PS Vita and the PS3 stores. Then fans freaked out, got pissed off, and boom, Sony backtracked. It was like, no, we're going to keep it open. We're sorry. So I'm happy to see this happening for Horizon Forbidden West, as well as Sony has stated that any of their first-party games going forward will have a $10 upgrade to go from PS4 to PS5 for any other ones that come out across the two. So it was kind of crappy that they used the dual entitlement feature, which honestly they took that term from EA, which, you know, because they didn't want to, EA first introduced that when they didn't want to implement the Xbox Smart Delivery, which, man, really makes Xbox Smart Delivery sound better and better, the way that companies have been dealing with going cross-gen between the two consoles. I think when Smart Delivery first came out, people were kind of like, oh, who cares, what's that? And now everybody's like, oh, yeah, this is great. It's just simply you buy it once, play it wherever. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But happy to see that Sony did change this to make fans happy, and happy to see that going forward it will just be a $10 fee in order to upgrade from that PS4 to the PS5 version, as I am super excited for Horizon Forbidden West. That game looks beautiful. During Gamescom 2021, we did get the reveal of Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now, this was made by the developers who created the XCOM series, so it was going to be a turn-based strategy game. That kind of put me off at first, because I'm not always the biggest fan of turn-based strategy. Probably one of the only ones I really got into and loved was the surprising to me, it was the Mario vs. Rabbids game on the Nintendo Switch. I actually loved playing that, really enjoyed it. So this one I wasn't too excited for, but we did just get gameplay to kind of see exactly what the gameplay is going to be like. Now, while some of the moves look really cool in the way that the characters interact with each other, of how they fight each other within the turn-based strategy, the one thing I saw that I wasn't the biggest fan of was the whole use of cards. I don't play card games online. That's just not fun to me. I know some people love it. They play all those deck-building games. That's not me. I'm just like, no thank you. So I don't know if this one's really going to hit for me. I think for some people out there, you're going to love it. But as you can see from the gameplay, you know, some of the stuff does look really cool, but the whole implementation of the card system, I'm wondering if it's going to be super heavy in that you're going to be using these, or how else they're going to do it. And maybe it's just something on the side for them to showcase the different moves and abilities that you'll get, and maybe I won't really notice it. I am happy to see that Marvel continues to partner with different developers to create different Marvel games, so we don't get the same scenario where EA purchased the rights to make Star Wars games, allowing no other developers to create them. And that's going to do it for today's update. You're officially caught up on the week. Do me a favor and hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. Have a great day, and in case I don't see you later,
good afternoon, good evening, and good night.